Warframe Battlepass. Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever imagined what a system like that would do to the game? A very interesting topic of discussion, and today we're going over it. I'm Deuce, and thanks in advance for watching. Now, before anything, let me say that I vehemently oppose to the idea of such a system being implemented in the game. Even if it's the most pro-consumer thing in this entire universe, because in essence a Battle Pass-like system involves one principle. You pay to grind cosmetics, which in my world makes no sense. You can grind for something, yes, in looter games that main grind is for power. Sometimes you can grind for cosmetics, but with the introduction of a pass system you will be turning that exception into the rule. My opposition to this idea also comes from the fact that I view these type of systems as an absurdity. Here's why. You're paying to grind something. It's not that you're paying for an experience that has grind in it, no. You're paying exclusively to grind, since these things available via passes are also available via direct purchases, albeit much more expensively. Because a Battle Pass is a middle-of-the-road approach, where you don't pay full price on virtual items, but you compensate that by forcing yourself to grind and farm in order to meet the quotas to be able to justify that initial purchase. Not to mention the fact that a system like this would distort the value of in-game purchases and even the premium currency, something that must be considered very keenly due to the fact that in Warframe everyone can get their hands on that sweet plat, so devaluating it would hurt everyone. But even though I don't agree with such an approach, there is merit in discussing its inclusion, because if there is one thing we all know, is the fact that battle passes sell like hotcakes, and people genuinely believe they're getting their money's worth. That's why so many like them when done right, of course. So for starters, the system that I'm taking into account when talking Battle Pass frame is the one implemented in Fortnite, not the one implemented in PUBG or the season passes over at Destiny or anything of the sort. I believe that in order for something to be valued fairly, we need to take into account the best case scenario. Right now, the best that I know of is Fortnite's, so when I talk Battle Pass, think of that game and not many other scummy systems that pretend to be like Fortnite's but end up being something else entirely. And I'm talking to you, PUBG. Anyway, so why even consider a system like this on Warframe? Well, you can say that it's another income source. A video game is a work of art, yes, but it's also a business. And finding ways to monetize it, it's only natural. Although sometimes it may get out of hand, like totally out of hand. But in Warframe's case, we say, and with reason, that its monetization scheme is one of the fairest in the industry, especially when we consider that this is a free-to-play game, where you're able to get all of its content for free. For the longest time, Warframe's free-to-play approach has been time equals money. You sink enough hours into the game and you can have access to almost everything without the need to pay. Whereas in the case in which you don't have the time, and if you want tangible progress on a reasonable timescale, then buying platinum will be the best way to achieve this. Now, the game doesn't force you to do it, that's another good thing it has, but without time, progress will be slow, hence why the need to throw money at it. And I know you need real cash to buy Tenogen items on PC, but I did say that with time you can access almost everything. The almost part was precisely because Tenogen exists. A Battle Pass system would be something in the middle, requiring both time and money, but less of both. For the sake of the argument, let's assume it would take significantly less, but always considering that still it is a time investment and money spent. One immediate benefit would be the fact that people buying these passes will commit themselves to playing the game, season after season, since they need to do that in order to justify their purchase. Not only is the game getting money, it's also getting concurrent players, committed concurrent players. There is also the fact that with battle passes, nothing goes to waste when talking cosmetics. I'm sure the EE is well aware of what has been a hit or a miss when talking about those cosmetic microtransactions. Not everything sells like hotcakes. With passes, there is an opportunity to make everything count, adding all those low sellers as rewards, thus making something out of the time investment. And for players, it's an opportunity to grab bargain items, probably something that you want, but the price is too steep to justify a single purchase. But once included for a reasonable price alongside other goodies, then it becomes a much more reachable thing. Battle passes are cheaper ways to get cosmetic items, if the price, the length, and the items are right. Some see it as a benefit for all parties interested, others see it as ways to nickel and dime players, squeezing those wallets just a little more. In Warframe, there is a case to be made about their inclusion, but there are other factors we need to consider. First, you're still paying money for something. Second, that something you're paying for is essentially grind. The thing you do in order not to pay for something. Third, the potential implications to the game's internal economy. And fourth, the nature of the pass itself. And by this, I mean how is this pass implemented? Because if there's one thing that would sway my opinion about it being included in the game, that is if the pass itself is available through both cash and platinum for all platforms, making it something accessible to everyone, included those who don't have the means to invest money in the game. And to finally turn me into a firm believer and defender of said system, on top of it being accessible to everyone, then add some Tenogen items to it. I mean, it's not breaking the Steam agreement for PC since the Battle Pass could be acquired using real cash as well, so everyone is covered. It could provide a way to finally obtain Tenogen on PC using Platinum, or at least I think it could. In the end, the whole Battle Pass thing for Warframe is something that I believe needs discussing. Although I oppose to it due to the facts that I stated earlier and also because its implementation is oftentimes not the best, there are many ifs and buts to consider here. I believe it needs to be a cosmetic-only system, available through both plat and cash purchases, and should include Tenogen items. Simply because if it does, you're guaranteeing its success right out of the gate. I don't see this as a case closed or an invariable no, since if done right, it could represent another incentive to actually play the game and a way to obtain new types of rewards at a reasonable price, given the fact that the items, the accessibility and duration are right and fair. But ultimately, I'm no one. What are your thoughts about this? Do you believe this system or something like it should be implemented? How that implementation should be? Or perhaps you think this shouldn't even exist? Leave your impressions in the comments. For my part, this has been all for now. If you enjoyed the video or you found it interesting, please consider giving it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more Warframe content and follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with everything. Again, thank you very much for watching. Whatever you are, have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.